What's good, family? It's your man the YB back once again. Oh no, oh no. We got some truly breaking news right now regarding your man's the undisputed, undefeated TikTokogram champion of the world, Ryan Garcia. His team, Oscar de la Sniffer, have exposed the Tank team, Gervonta Wank Davis, are playing games, and that Ryan has decided to move on. Here we go. Oscar de la Sniffer. Tank's side is playing games. We're moving on. I'm going to Teofimo Lopez's next fight. On Friday afternoon, Golden Boy Promotions head Oscar de la Sniffer offered a positive update around negotiations for a potential fight pitting budding contender, the undisputed TikTokogram champion of the world, Ryan Garcia, against knockout artist Gervonta Wank Davis. De la Sniffer said they were talking with Wank's team and that the development was a great start, adding that Golden Boy was planning to keep everything hushed because they wanted to surprise the public with the fight announcement later this year. I told you, that there is hushed is sussed, yeah? Because Ryan Garcia was all in the video talking about how he wants it public. This is kind of super sus, I ain't gonna lie to you. By Saturday night, Oscar de la Sniffer was singing a different tune when questioned if there were any updates in the near 30-hour span since his previous statement. Zero whatsoever, de la Sniffer told Ellie Suckback of ES News. Hey, we're trying to get hold of Tank's side. We don't know who to talk to. Nobody picks up their phone. Nobody calls back. I feel they're playing games. So I'm moving on. And I'm going to Teofimo Lopez's fight. There you go then, people. I can't lie to you. I'm not sure what to make of this one. Number one, like the article said, what I find odd here is the fact that Oscar himself and Stephen Weaseloza, yeah? The Weasel and De La Sniffer both said, yeah, we're in conversations. And I remember cracking a joke saying, it was only 2 weeks ago, De La Hoya came out and said, I'm not sure who to talk to. Who's Tank with? Who do I talk to? And I made a joke saying, what do you mean you're not sure who to talk to? Send an email out. Yeah, that's what a CC's for. That's why you copy people in. Send it to everyone. I tell you that to say, Oscar de la Hoya and Espinoza since then have said they were in communications. So I'm sitting there thinking now, what does De La Hoya mean? We don't know who to talk to. You said that 3 weeks ago, and since then, you've been in conversations with them. Now, equally, on De La Hoya's side, he does say, no one's picking their phone up, no one calls back. So to be fair, it is possible that what's happened here is, initially De La Hoya was in contact with them, and then communications have died off. Which would leave, think about it, if you've not been sure who to contact yet, then you get in contact with someone, but then the contact falls through, it would leave you thinking like, what kind of operation is this? Who do I talk to? Was I talking to the right person? So I'm not sure what to believe here. Really, we won't know until we hear from, obviously, Tank's side, but guess what? I haven't heard nothing from Tank. Why hasn't Tank come out and said, Ryan's ducking and he's lying and whatever. Obviously, it takes time. This article is fresh within 24 hours, so it's probably going to take a week. A week from now, we should know a lot more, but right now, I'm bang in the middle. I'm not sure what to believe. No one has shown any receipts. If I was Team De La Hoya, if I was Team Ryan Garcia, bearing in mind, people, they said they were going to do this, I'll be putting emails out. I'll be taking snapshots of phone calls. Look, we phoned. There's 7 unanswered phone calls to Team Mayweather. Look at these emails we sent. And I put that out on the internet, and it's out there then. At which point, Tank's team, the onus is on them to prove that they replied or whatever. At the moment, it's just talking. Who do I believe? Well, guess what? In all fairness, Oscar is the only one we've heard from. So I have to give that some weight. I've seen some goofy channels. Ryan's ducked Tank and Ryan's ran off. Well, listen. If it's true that Tank's communication stopped, I understand that Ryan ain't going to sit around forever and just wait. What do you think Ryan going to do? And again, I have heard that Tank's team, Mayweather, I've heard that Mayweather Promotions is very sloppy. Their administration is awful. They're really messy. Unless it's Tank, well, to be fair, this is a Tank fight, but I've heard, unless it's like a big one, like Mayweather fighting, the clowns ain't interested. Do you understand? Unless it's a huge fight, which, then again, this would be a huge fight, but I'm saying, Mayweather Promotions, it's shoddy. And it would make sense, if Tank's team don't want to fight, what would a shoddy team do? Just drop off the map. Oh, we didn't get your email. That is typical, isn't it? Tank's team aren't going to come out and say, oh, we're shook, we don't want it, we've shit our pants. They're not going to do that. What they would do, in hood style, is just not reply to the email. That's how these hood companies work. They're messy like that. A corporate company will come back and say, straight up, hood dudes will drop off and just one of them ones. Floyd's promotions company is hood. It's messy like that. You got Leonard Snouterby. You know what I mean? One of them ones. It's messy. It's a messy organisation. I've been telling you though, notice the fights against bums. When Tank's fighting a bum, you never hear no problem. And I'm sorry, yeah, but bottom line is, when it comes to Tank, Tank said he wanted Haney. What happened to that? No one knows. So to be honest, I am actually leaning towards Ryan telling the truth here. Because let's not forget people. Oh, YB, there's no way Tank would duck Ryan. Well, the same way Tank told us he wants Ryan, he said the same thing about how he wants Devin Haney. And we've heard nothing of either. Now I believe where this will kind of conclude at will be Team Tank will say we're not going to 140. I believe they're going to say the reason we haven't replied to your emails is because we're not fighting at 140. Now I'm telling you now, if Tank chooses not to fight at 140, that's going to be an out and out duck. Bottom line. Straight duck. 100% duck. Because Tank really shot himself in the foot. If Tank hadn't had that fight at 140 already, his excuse may work. But the fact that Tank came up to 140 and fought a bum, I'm sorry, he don't have no excuse. Tank's the big knockout guy. Ryan Garcia is sweet and pretty looking. You should have no problem and going up to 140 the same way you did for another fight and doing it. If that's what the problem was, Tank has ducked Ryan Garcia. Because what difference? Think about it. What difference should it make? If you think that Ryan Garcia's food, why would you not smoke his pack at 140? It's £5. Don't make no sense, does it? Unless you're shook. Only time will tell. The good news is, it won't be long until Tank's got some fight against some bum. And that's why, at least in preliminary kind of evidence, at least Oscar De La Hoya's been honest. We haven't heard from him. He's setting a record out there. We haven't heard from him, and we're moving on to Teofimo Lopez. Now, to be fair to Ryan, yeah, if Ryan Garcia genuinely ends up with a fight with Teo, that shows he will have fought Tank. I'm sorry. If Ryan Garcia is prepared to fight Teo at 140, which may be cap as well, to be honest. That may be cap. We don't know. Yeah? There's too many unknowns right now, but as it stands today, I'm leaning towards Tank has shit his pants again. I'm sorry. Because we don't hear nothing from Tank. Tank was the guy who said, oh, I'm not going to say anything back to Ryan because I just want to get the fight done. And we haven't heard nothing since. Bear in mind, people, why haven't we heard Tank come out and say, or anyone from Mayweather Promotions, why hasn't no one said, Ryan's playing games. We haven't heard nothing about that. What we have heard is that Team Tank are playing games. Team Wank, sorry. Yeah, we've heard that Team Wank Davis is playing games. And I believe it, I'm sorry, I just do. It's not a coincidence. Look at his resume. He's a bum slayer, I'm sorry. He's a Baltimore bum slayer. Simple as that. He loved to fight bums. Shocking. This sums up, though, where boxing finds itself in 2022. Truly shocking. And no doubt, Wank Davis will be on some pay-per-view show against some bum, strutting around the place like it's really hard. Oh man, I'm from Baltimore, and he clapped. I ain't trying to hear no more from Tank. I really ain't. Washed up dude.